just when I finally got to a stage where I was ready to totally embrace sobriety, I just didn't really want it to be about like green juice and yoga. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that wasn't how I saw my life, you know. So I just really wanted to create a space where sobriety was just fun, and your life did not have to end with sobriety. Because to me, when I first started to explore sobriety, at one stage I just thought it would, you've kind of you've frozen a bit. Oh, you're moving again. No, you're moving.
Sorry, I need to be a more active listener.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just still getting used to the technology.
Painting the town sober. Come on, that's just good fun. I met Georgie on the Instagram right here, and I just reached out and said, "Hey, would you be interested in having a conversation about sobriety and social distancing and all of that stuff?" I just touched my face again. We just had a delightful chat, and I wish I could show you all of it, because you meet people from across the world, and you just find similar folk, you know. And this is a great little chat with Georgie from England about sober social distancing.
It's so probably like everybody who, not everybody, but for a lot of people who finally become sober, I had a lot of attempts before it really stuck, like a lot.
Yeah.
And so if I start with moderation, we all tried that, and it's a disaster if you really like a drink. And that was so exhausting, trying to moderate, trying to think, well, you know, I'll only drink at weekends, or I'll only drink if I'm going out. And it never worked. It never stuck, because one drink was never enough. And,
Sure.
You know, Thursday to Monday became Thursday to Wednesday. And eventually the whole pattern just starts again. So for me, I realized that moderation would never work, because I tried it many times. And then after that, I tried sort of little stints at abstinence. So here in the UK, we do this big thing called Dry January, which is, it's great. It's kind of a charity thing. People do it for cancer research, and they try and earn some money, and it's a sponsorship opportunity. And
Okay.
it's a huge thing over here. And then there's another thing called Sober October. And I would do those stints, which were really painstaking for me, like 30 days sober. And I would literally, like a prisoner, I would like tick off the days and just think, it's this obsession, like all the time. I'd be like, I'm on day 3 and I've got 27 days before I can drink again. And it was just all wrong. Like, it was never, ever going to work. And then as soon as I got to the end of that stint, the next month I would just, it would quadruple my drinking. I would be unable to stop. I'd say similarly in the build up to one of those periods of abstinence, I was just drinking like a fish, because your brain is just always thinking, when am I going to have the next drink? What's it going to be? Where's it coming from? So it was just a disaster for me. So I did a lot of those stints before eventually, I think, at some point, and I don't know whether this is the same sort of way it worked for you, Skip, but some points the scales kind of tipped, and it just stopped being fun, and it stopped being this like elixir of joy, and it was almost kind of like just an anesthetic. And I remember that moment, almost not to the drink, but I do remember that sort of week in my life when I was just really consciously thinking, I'm just opening like a third bottle of wine, and I'm not buzzed. I'm not happy. This doesn't feel good. I can't really remember drinking the last one, but for some reason I'm drinking this one, and I'm in this void. And it just had this moment of, it wasn't a dramatic sort of public rock bottom, but just kind of gradually dawned on me that this was just a terrible, toxic merry-go-round.
Yeah.
And I guess that's when I started investigating the science behind it and trying to understand why I was doing it. The first book I read actually was kind of like a memoir, really, which is called The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober by Catherine Gray.
Okay.
And that was very relatable for me, because it was kind of the story of a woman working in London, working in media, surrounded by alcohol. Alcohol is kind of part of your job as much as it is part of your social life. And that was the first one I read. And then after that, I really started researching the science side of it, which was Annie Grace, This Naked Mind. So her work and also her podcast, I just started ingesting all of those ideas really, which kind of explores the science behind when you have, it's just a simple formula, when you have that first drink and you get that kind of dopamine, this artificial dopamine hit, that the alcohol kind of, the level of alcohol in your blood, kind of the rise and fall, 10, 20 minutes later, you immediately need another drink or you're going to start feeling, go on a downer.
Yeah. Sure.
And it was just that simple little equation that really sort of rang home with me that, okay, if I have this drink, I'm going to have a buzz for about 10 minutes and then I'm immediately going to start craving another drink. And I was at the stage where I would have a drink. In fact, I would order a drink, have it in my hand, and I'd immediately be thinking, where am I going to get the other one from? This is because now I'm stuck with these people who are going to drink this drink so bloody slowly.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
Mate, just used to drive me insane. And especially when I'd be out with a group of girls and I'd be like, so I couldn't bear cocktails because I could just ingest a cocktail in one sniff.
It sounds to me like you made a decision. You came to a decision of, hey, this is a better way to live.
Yeah.
With and without the alcohol. I did the math. This is a better way to live. And I choose 100%. To live this way.
100%.
Which I thoroughly appreciate. And I know there's a lot of streams of thought out there that say, well, you can't just do that. And yet you're clearly doing it. And I applaud that. And I think that's amazing. So in the midst of this whole thing, then it feels like, and please tell me if I'm wrong, it seems like you're able to, because you have a clear mind and a clear perspective, you're able to kind of view this whole thing as, okay, well, this is what we have right now. I'm going to live in this. I'm going to learn from it, whatever it has to teach me. And then when it's over with, I'm going to come out the other side and appreciate and value some things that I might have taken for granted.
That's exactly right. So I'm going to say a controversial thing here now. So I think it's for anyone who's in the early days of sobriety or just thinking maybe this is something I should do. I think this is the best time in our lifetimes to be sober.
You're not the first person to say that. In fact, Mitzi Dawn, who I spoke with just a few days ago for this same project, shared the same thing. She said that this is really an opportune time to step away and to kind of hit the restart button, if you will. She was speaking of it from the standpoint of treatment and from substance use disorder and other things as well. I agree.
So is that helpful then? Is that everything you need, do you think? Is that anything useful apart from
my gosh, are you kidding me? That was delightful. That was perfect. That's my favorite part of this, is not knowing the person on the other side, and then you have to find a way into a conversation. And then in moments like this where you just kind of dive in and you're both in the deep end going, all right, yeah.
Well, no, it's great. It's a first for me. So thank you so much.
Well, it was absolute delight. And thank you so much for spending the time with me. And please, please, please stay safe over there.
Yeah, of course. And you too, just, sending all the positivity.
Thanks again, Georgie. That was so much fun. For those of you that are interested in Georgie's Instagram account, it is, again, Painting the Town Sober here. I don't know if you can find that or not. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and I have thoroughly been enjoying her experience as a sober person. All right, look forward to doing another one of these next week. See ya.